Hey, all, welcome back to the channel, Keeping the Old Man Out. First, I'm sorry. I have a really horrible camera. I'll try to get a new one if we do more of these videos. But this is a special video today. It's going to be an interview style. But before we get started, I wanted to thank you all for everybody who watched that last video about learning to play bass. Stay young, why learning to play bass is your new best friend, part 2. So it had over 2,000 views, for this channel. That's quite a lot. And also thank you for subscribing. I do plan to do a part 3. That's going to be really fun, really good. I'm going to do a quick lesson on a ZZ Top song, Sharp Dressed Man. So subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get notified when it comes out. So I'm looking forward to that one. But again, thank you all for watching, and share with your friends, subscribe, hit the notification bell and all that. So thank you, and I'm going to get my friend on pretty soon here, and we'll get going on the interview. Thank you all. Okay, here we go with our first interview. So this is Keeping the Old Man Out. And, the cold, hard truth is he's going to keep coming and knocking and probably never give up. So that's just the way it is. We just do the best we can to keep him out for as long as we can and have a good life. um, so yeah, he'll come knocking, the old man, and sometimes we have to deal with, illnesses and injuries and all that. That's just part of it. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today, with my good friend Sam McCoy. We've been friends since high school, and then we sort of lost touch for a few years, and then got back connected through music. He loves to play bass. You probably saw some of our videos. So we reconnected, and it's been great. It's been good to reconnect with Sam, my old friend. But anyway, without further delay, we're going to get Sam on here, and he's going to share his story with us, some of the things he's been through for over a year now. Sam.
Yeah, we're on day 380 something.
Yeah. So yeah, just start where you want to. You can go back as far as you want. How this illness came about and your journey through it. And I know you're a man of faith, and that had a big part in it. And lots of prayers from your friends, including me. So floor is all yours, Sam.
Okay. So I didn't really feel sick. Uh, Things were just tooling along, going to doctor's appointments once a year to get blood pressure medicine refilled. And lo and behold, about 2018, I went. Now, 2017, all was normal. So 2018, I went to the doctor, and he said, "Hey, your blood work is all messed up." I mean, he used, like doctor terms, but it's like the same thing.
Yeah.
So he said, "Hey, I need you to come in a month, and I need you to stop taking for some kind of medication I was on that he wanted me to quit taking because he thought hey, that's where the problem is. Well, I went back and it didn't change anything. So my platelets were low, not like just a little low. They were like, oh my gosh, low, like in the 70s or 80s. Normally, your platelets run, 150, 160 is normal. Well, my white count was low. My uh, red count, everything was low.
What was that medication for? What were you trying to control with
Uh,
that?
I think it was like it's been so long. It was for like it was a 24-hour uh, acid reflux medicine.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, but you know, it protonics or something like that. But it didn't change anything. So we went around a little bit, and I wound up going to see a hematologist. Well, the hematologist said, well, it's not so bad right now. We're just going to watch it. Well, they watched this stuff for like 6 years, and then they finally put a name on it. They called it maleo or malleodysplasic syndrome, which really what is going on. Your stem cells make your red blood cells, your white blood cells, and your platelets, all that stuff. Well, mine were broken, and they were making them, but they weren't maturing. They were about halfway maturing. So I was getting about half of what I was making. So with that, they started looking at bone biopsy tests, and I've had about, oh my gosh, 6, maybe 7 of those. That's where they drill into your hip and suck out bone marrow and try to see what's in it.
Mm.
Well, I had pre-cancerous bone blast. It was a precursor for leukemia. So what if we had left it, if I had not gone to the doctor and we had left it alone, it would have turned into leukemia. And then I may not be sitting here talking to you right now. So I got up to Kirkland Clinic, and they did all these tests, and lady finally turned me over to the oncologist. This guy from Israel, Al Kadimi. He's like uh, he's like a super guy. He knows he's the head of the oncology department. How I got the head guy,
Mm.
I don't know. But so he watched it for a little while, and then he told me it was last year around March, April, that we were going to have to do a stem cell transplant. Well, the transplant entailed being in the hospital for like 30 days, right?
Mm.
Well, they give you strong leukemia for like 6 days in a row to burn out all your stem cells, all your immune system. They're getting rid of everything that's in your bones. So you get, for me, I mean, the way he treated me was 6 days of chemo, then 2 days of radiation, and then he followed that up with 2 more days. I got a 2-day break, and then I got 2 more days of chemo. Well, probably about 2 weeks into it is when I noticed my beard was pulling out,
Yeah,
and it was
I
like,
remember.
oh my gosh, when I would take a shower, uh, you wash and everything. They give you these foam uh, antibacterial pads to wash with,
Yeah.
right? It's covered in hair, you know.
Yeah.
So I had Connie come up and just cut it all off
Yeah.
because it was like, oh my gosh, I can't deal with this. It was just coming out in tufts.
Yeah.
Um, so at that point, you're really vulnerable.
Yeah.
Uh, your your white count, your white count is what uh, it's your immune system. It fights any kind of infection, right? Well, mine was at 0.01. I had no white count whatsoever.
Oh,
Um, so they told me, don't pick anything up off the floor if you drop it. You
right.
know, don't do anything to get anything dirty.
Were you
Uh,
going home at this time?
no,
You were at the hospital.
no, they wouldn't let me go home until my white count started coming up.
Right.
I think that was like November 10th. I went in on the 15th of October and I didn't get out of there until like November 10th
Wow.
because it was like not, uh, it was not picking up. And it's like every day when they come in to check the blood count and stuff, it was like I was praying, like, oh my God, just something, but it was just at the bottom for about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Well, that was really the easy part, being in the hospital. That was the easy part. So after you get out of the hospital, that every you got to make sure you take these meds every day.
Yeah.
The antibacterials, the antifungals, all the stuff to make sure you don't get sick and die after you get out of the hospital. Um,
I
Doctor,
imagine everything is controlled at the hospital, everything's set up, and then you come home and everything's just like
right?
chaotic. You got to get everything in order.
I still had I still had a tube sticking out of my chest when I came home, and you can't get them wet. You have to cover them up with these little sticky pads.
Yeah.
Uh, is it? I mean, the end of it can get wet, but the part that like actually goes into your chest, they don't want that part getting wet.
Is that for putting medicine back in you? That tube?
Medicine, drawing blood. Uh, it's like a host of things they can use it for. Um, I hated having it, but man, no needle sticks. It
Yeah.
was great. It was great. And then when they went back to sticking me, it's like my skin was so tender. It like felt like they were poking me with just some gigantic needle, even though it was just a little bitty thing.
Yeah.
Crazy. But as time went on, things started getting better. But most days, I felt pretty crappy. Uh, I was off work from October 2024 till uh, March of 2025. And I burned all my vacation time and I burned all my sick time. And I had like 400, 400 hours of sick time. And once I burned through all that, I mean, I was getting a regular check. Uh, and then where I work in one of the big hospitals in Birmingham. They gave me another 250 hours of sick time. Like, you know,
Yeah, that's good.
uh, I had bought like a short term disability plan with the company I was working for, and I think after it was all said and done, after I got out of the hospital and they filed everything that they were going to file, uh, I think I got like $6,000, and that was enough to get me, you know, back to work. But you know, even when I went back to work, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
You know, you he wanted. He said, what about 7:30? I said 7:30. How about because they have like 11 to 11 and 12 to 12 shifts.
Yeah.
And I said, how about those? I said, man, I do good to get up by 9 o'clock to take my medications.
So it's been over a year from the start.
Yeah,
You know,
300.
so like in during the during the time you dealt with all this, like the 3 month period and the third month, 6 month, 8 month, how did things develop for you? What were the things you had to deal with and work through those as time progressed, and you got better and better?
I think uh, the they tell you when you get out of the hospital, they want you to quarantine for the first 100 days.
Wow.
You know, I mean, they're not saying you can't go anywhere, but if you go out and like if you picked up COVID from somewhere,
Yeah.
at that stage, you'd be back in the hospital, uh, really sick. But I guess the worst part was the quarantine,
Yeah.
staying in the house, um, especially staying in there with the wife. Oh my!
You had to move your cats out, right?
No, they initially said yes, and then they decided no. But they said you're not allowed to. I didn't feel like it anyway, but you're not allowed to change the cat litter, take out trash, all the stuff the guy does.
Yeah.
I was like,
You
woo-hoo,
had a break from all that.
I would pray from all that. But the cats were, they in general, when if you have indoor cats, I think they're kind of nasty anyway because they walk in poo
Yeah.
to go to the bathroom in the litter box, and then they walk everywhere else.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't want you eating at a restaurant with less than a 90 uh,
Rating.
rating.
Yeah.
They didn't want you drinking out of fountain drinks
Hmm.
because they say they don't really clean them like they should,
Yeah.
and they have bacteria in there.
Yeah.
No soft serve ice cream. They gave you a whole list of don'ts. The list of don'ts were bigger than the list of do's.
Yeah. Unfortunately, huh?
Right. But when my numbers started climbing, is when I started feeling a lot better.
Yeah.
Uh, and then, so they were giving me maintenance chemo uh, once a month for like 10 days. I would get 3 days of IV chemo, and I would get like 10 days of oral chemo. And man, it would be almost the end of the month before I felt better.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're tired mainly? Is that what it was? Or were you nauseated?
Uh, it's like, when you get that stuff, usually about the weekend is when it started hitting you. And it's like walking up the steps. Oh, that was a killer. But so when I made my 1 year, which was uh that would have been October 23rd, uh the doctor's appointment there, they said no more chemo. There's no need for any more bone marrow biopsies right now. They took me off two medications, uh, fluconazole, and I can't remember what the other one was, but they were basically like anti bacterials. Uh, they still have me on a cyclovir, which they said that keeps. Oh, what is it? What is that? What is that stuff? Old people get it after they've had chicken pox. I can't think of what it's called. Um, Gosh,
The
really?
physical thing or like a
Yeah,
neurological?
you get this big rash. Uh, God, what is that called? I can't think of what it's called right now. It's like if you've had chicken pox, you can get this stuff as an adult, and it's really painful, and it comes back as like a big rash. They're keeping me on it, so I don't get any of that. They started giving me all my childhood immunizations back, uh, polio, chickenpox, smallpox, all that stuff. I got like 5 shots one day, like three in one shoulder and two in the other.
Mm,
And it was like, oh my gosh,
yeah.
shoulders are so sore.
So they had to find a donor, is that correct?
Yeah,
For you?
he's about 30 years old, and he's from Europe. I think he's German. Um, so they all have to pass all kind of tests to be able to.
This bone marrow uh,
Right. It's
donation
it's like
donor?
it's a blood donation, but they go in and they strip out the stem cells. So in order to get it, it's like they're sitting on a machine for like 8 hours.
The
While
donor is.
it's sort of like a dialysis machine.
Yeah.
The donor, he's sitting on this machine while it's filtering out the blood and the stem cells.
What happens to the donor? Any health issues or anything? They just regenerate whatever they're giving you? What,
Yeah,
how does that work?
it's you know they're usually pretty healthy to be able to be allowed to donate stem cells. They they test them for everything. Uh, so in Europe, if you remember a few years back, they had mad cow syndrome over there,
Yeah.
right? Well, they had to disclose that the guy lived in an area with mad cow.
Oh,
Did I still want to go ahead with the transplant? And I said, well, yeah, if he's tested negative for everything,
yeah.
you know. But if I choose to see him like on a Zoom meeting like this,
Yeah.
then if for whatever reason uh, we needed him to donate again, he can't donate. I don't know. They didn't really explain that. They just said if you meet the guy, you can't
Oh, really?
can't. But I've got stem cells on, they're keeping them at UAB frozen. But
From the donor in case you need it.
yeah, but so I'm supposed to convert to his blood type,
Mm-hmm.
and if I do all that converting to his blood type and all that stuff, I don't see how we could use those stem cells anyway. But I'm not a doctor, so uh, but yeah, it's been a long haul.
How are you feeling now?
Well, so my wife went on a cruise to the Bahamas. I was feeling great before she got back because there was no chemo, and it was like I was feeling like the old me, right?
Really? That's good.
Or when I say the old me, the old guy me.
Yeah.
And uh, then she started snuffling like 2 days, and I said, she brought some crap home. Yeah. So she's been piled on the couch. She got home on the 1st, and she's been sick uh, pretty much ever since.
So
So
after you get over this flu thing here, are you like 80% back, 90,
uh,
60, like from when you were healthy before all this?
I would say, okay, so all the pre-cancer stuff is gone. So there's no, we're not sitting waiting on, cancer to pop in. And with that being said, and they took the chemo away, I until my wife got home, I felt pretty much like the old me.
Really? Your
Yeah.
energy was back and all?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to run a foot race or
You're not
anything.
going to do any of the follow-alongs I've done?
Man, some of that stuff, I don't see how you do it, man. Like, I get winded easy.
Well, we want you back doing that. That's where we want you. So
Yeah.
I'm going to invite you and keep inviting you till you join me in one of
Yeah.
those.
I walked 2.5 miles the other day.
Great.
Uh, we went to Fort Toulouse.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Yeah, you showed me some of those pictures.
yeah, and I walked until my hips started hurting.
Yeah.
And then I told Olivia, I said, "Hey, we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen it. There's nothing else to look at. Smoky fires, big fort. Big trees in the ground going around the fort.
Yeah.
Yeah, seen it.
Well, our free Zoom just told me we got 10 minutes left, so that's good. They give us a warning.
Right.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you've recovered and went through this, fought through it, just like a good old man would do.
It's been a struggle.
Yeah. Well,
Once all my numbers started slowly coming up,
yeah.
uh, started feeling a lot better. But today, feel pretty crappy.
Yeah, but that's temporary. You'll get
Yeah,
over that. And we'll get back and record a few songs for the audience here. So,
yeah. So UAB said I had this thing called uh, a rhinovirus,
oh, really?
and I'm like, rhinovirus. It's like, what is that? Flu or what's the deal? So then they called and left a message, and they said, "Oh, you got the rhinovirus, and blah blah blah." And then they said it's like a common cold. And then I thought, well, it feels like COVID, because when you're trying to get over a stem cell transplant, everything, just a head cold knocks you in the dirt.
Yeah.
It's like, and I'm like, uh, it felt like COVID. That's why I went up to the clinic, right?
Mm.
I wanted to get tested and make sure she didn't bring back COVID or some crazy
Yeah.
stuff out of the country.
Yeah. Yeah. Those cruises, you never know.
And you got a head cold, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been tough. But the only thing that got me through it was, uh, you know, friends from a long time ago. It's like, so I'm not, I'm not holding it against him, but my youngest son moved for a job to Virginia. So, he couldn't help me. My oldest son, he hasn't called me since I went in the hospital.
Mm.
Haven't talked to him.
Yeah.
You came cut my grass. Another guy came. Somebody came and washed my house.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Do you mind if I wash your house?" Well, no, go right ahead. But all this stuff that I couldn't do that was needing to be done, you know, you find out who your friends are when you're down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You got to be there for people, your friends. You got to be there for them best you can.
like
But
man, I don't know what's up with my oldest son. His mom died like 3 or 4 years ago. You would think he would want to stay in touch with me
yeah.
after mom died, but who knows?
Well, things change, people change. See what
Right?
happens. Hopefully things will turn around with him.
Hope so.
Um, if you don't have anything else, we'll kind of wrap it up. But
Oh,
thanks.
there is one more quick little thing. My
Yeah.
hair great as arrow, and when it came back in after the chemo, is early.
That's hilarious.
My barber, I said, if I cut it off, will it come back straight? He said, probably not.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah. So, you
That
know,
radiation curled it up for you, whatever.
it's something about the skin and how it splits the hair or something, the way it
Yeah.
comes out.
Yeah, it's
But
crazy. You didn't lose it for long. Your hair came back pretty quick. I was surprised.
lost it in the end of October, and it probably started sprouting out January, February,
Yeah.
probably February.
Yeah, that's pretty quick, I think. I don't know anything about it, but it seemed quick
No,
to me.
nothing went the way they thought it would.
Yeah.
And that's good. You
Yeah.
know,
For the
God, good man.
right.
So but that's it. That's all I got.
All right. Thanks for sharing, Sam. Keep on getting better and we'll keep playing and hope you can join me in the gym some. Get healthy, strong, and you take care of yourself and we appreciate you sharing your story and all that. And I do want to invite anybody watching, if you have a story, struggle you've gone through, or just things you do every day to stay healthy that you want to share with people on the channel, drop an email to me and we'll do a Zoom easy. Um, get you on and let you share and see if you can help other people, like, encourage or whatever. You got a visitor, Sam. You want to let her say bye to?
The bottom line is stuff is you can recover from it. Just
Right.
because you get some kind of death threat on your life from leukemia or some kind of, I had it easy. It was a blood cancer,
Yeah.
but you can survive it and come back.
Right.
So,
Appreciate it, Sam. Take care and we'll talk soon.
all right,
Bye
man.
bye, Mr. Dominic.
Hey, bye.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye now.